Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Progressive Marketer. I am here with Bull Moose's VP of Business Development, Josh Sheritz.
And I'm here with Bull Moose's VP of Client Strategy, Ron Maddox.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm sure everybody's noticing that we're working from remote locations.
Yes, just two of Bull Moose's many offices through the duration of this.
Yeah. So it's the new normal for a little while. So, but yeah, we're adjusting like everybody else. So, Josh, what are we talking about today?
Well, today let's talk about a few tools manufacturers can use to help discover prospects on their websites.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's a pretty timely topic right now. Of course, manufacturing, was on a roll up until this whole COVID-19 thing, and yeah, going gangbusters. And now it's pretty much brought everything to not a standstill. Some companies are having to cut back, obviously, which is sad. And then other ones that are in high demand, they are having to take and retool, their supply chains because of disruption there. They're also having to take and scale up production, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. Case in point in that is all the stuff going on with them need to make ventilators and medical supplies to keep people protected in the hospitals and that. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's meaning manufacturers out there are having to search for solutions left and right. And actually, recently Thomas Registry, everyone remembers those old green books that they're online now in a new format. And
Yep.
a survey that they've done recently assessed the impact that COVID-19's had on over 1,000 manufacturers. 28% said they were looking to reshore back to the U.S. Another 28% are searching for new suppliers to make up for ones they've lost because of this. So this is not just stressful, but on the flip side of that, a lot of opportunity for suppliers that they might not even be aware of.
Yeah, that's the thing. Being aware of them, and yeah, in the case of those OEMs and the tier one partners out there who are scrambling to take and make these ventilators and medical protective supplies, they are really in need of suppliers for the component parts in order to take and meet these really aggressive production goals. GM, of course, is working with Ventec out in, I think, Kokomo, Indiana, that plant out there that they're trying to spin up. Medtronic, they just put out their intellectual property on ventilators for the public to see if they can get suppliers that can, jump in on that pretty quick. Yeah. And you got GE Healthcare and 3M. They're working on stuff. There's a whole bunch of them, but really everybody's jumping in to try to combat this thing and
That's
be
fantastic.
part of the solution. Yeah. So here's the thing: we have seen with our clients a lot of those names that just were mentioned, plus a whole lot more. We've seen them showing up on their websites, and how do we know this?
We know this from a couple of free prospecting tools that we've added to those websites.
Yeah. So what exactly are those tools, Josh?
Sure.
What do they tell us?
We've got a couple that. Oh, great. We've got a couple here that they can show us the exact names of the company who's visiting the website, the date that they're coming there, how many times they visited, even what pages they're visiting, how long they're staying, what have you. And we're excited to be able to talk a little bit more about those today.
Yeah. Yep. So that's all good information. Will it tell you the name and the contact information of the person who's visiting?
No, unfortunately, and that's because data protection laws state that information specifically can't be obtained unless that visitor willingly provides that by filling out a form or requesting to be contacted. It's to privacy for the user on the other end.
Yep.
What it will tell you is the location of the visitor. You can then check the company's website out, find their office locations, hop on LinkedIn, search for employees to match the description of someone from their purchasing team that might be who you're looking for, or at least someone who might be working on the project that that company's looking for more information from potential suppliers on.
Yep.
It's what we call prospecting intelligence, and it can be very useful.
Yep. Yeah. And considering the fact that, the majority of people in decision-making roles, procurement, now are millennials, going to the website is pretty much a given. Another thing that's interesting, Gardner, does a lot of market research and that out there. One of the ones they found for industrial buyers that they're, for somebody that's on the purchasing teams, they're usually about 70, close to 70% of their way through the buying process, before they start
Oh
coming to
wow,
the websites.
that's quite far.
Yeah, it is quite far. Yeah, yeah. And so, and there's a lot of information that they're gathering in that. But the thing is like what people don't realize, with websites is what they're actually trying to do is eliminate people. So they come to your website and it's like they can't find information very easily, or your website looks kind of dinky. It was built, back in the early '90s. Those are things that can get you eliminated. So it's really important that your website is structured in a way that, one, they can find information like really easily, and also, the information is defined out, really well. It's not all just thrown in like one big old page. Because then, with these prospecting tools, what you can see is, okay, what pages they were interested in, how long they spent on that page, and this gives you an idea of the solution that they're looking for. And you can then use that as your jumping off point to take and start a conversation, once you reach out to them, either through an email or or a call. So we've been talking a lot, what some of these things can do. What are we what are actually the programs that we're referring to?
Sure. So there's basically two of them. One's through a software company called HubSpot, and it's their prospect tool. And the other one's through Thomas, as we mentioned, and it's Trax, designed by Thomas Registry. I'll cover HubSpot and some of its features, and then we'll let Ron, or we'll have you cover Trax.
Okay, we're about to.
So let's do a couple of screen shares here. So if you are using HubSpot, and what we'll do is we'll show you how to use each of these as if they're already installed into your website, and then we can go from there. So if you're using the prospect tool in HubSpot, if everyone can see that, what we've got here is basically a running list of who's visited the website. You can see the company name, and in some cases, you can see quite a few heavy hitters in here. You're going to get a running list of everyone. So we'll filter that out in or some of that out here, and show you how that's been done. But you've got to kind of go through the weeds of some of these. But that said, you'll get the name. Once you've got this set up, and if you want to save some of these into your sort of your portal there, you can just click on the plus signs to add those companies. You've got the domain for the website that's been, and this is tracked by your IP address. You can see the number of page views that they've been to on your website, of all time, not just today. Obviously, somebody's not been on someone's website on 6,490 pages at one sitting. But then the number of visitors all time as well, and then the most recent activity over here on the right. Couple of ways to filter this information down. So you can see scrolling through, there's a pile of people here. Couple of ways to filter this down. So what we're going to do here is on the left, you'll see saved filters. The first thing, once you have this on here, you'll want to set the internet service provider equal to false. What that's going to do is weed out someone looking from home and they have a Gmail account, or a small business that has maybe doesn't have its own listed ISP. So instead of coming up, it might come up as Comcast, it might come up as Armstrong Cable, and what have you, rather than the company or the manufacturer that's actually looking at it. So that'll weed those out to make it a little less confusing and simmer those down a little. So let's hop into the filters once. You can save filters, as you can see. If you're going through regularly and you find, okay, this shows me exactly what I need, save that filter to make life a little easier later. Couple of things we want to really take a look at in here is the internet service provider. You're also going to look at some of the industries that you're serving. Um, Once you go in, and let's actually use in this case. Let's get out of here. Let's go in. Let me hop in. What we want to do? Where did we go? We're going to look at I want to get to the saved ones, and it's not letting me do it. Let's see if I click out of here.
Hey, what a good one might be timely is let's just do a medical device.
That'll work. I'm trying to find our name, code, region, street address, year founded. Are you seeing?
Just type in industry up there and it'll.
Perfect. Okay. There we are. Industry. Here we go. So let's take a peek at medical devices. So you're going to see right down through here, depending on your company. Medical devices. And this will automatically lead through your contacts. So we've had in this portal alone, we've had Medtronic down here. We've had Bausch & Lomb. We've had Medline. So you can see these people aren't just companies that you might want to work with. These are people who've expressed some kind of interest in your site. They've been there, they've looked. I'm looking at Medline here. They've been to 20 pages on your site by 5 different visitors. You taking a peek, you can see if you click on one of them, it's going to give you a little bit more information when the first time they were on your site, where they're located. It's also one other quick fun tip. If you scroll down to the bottom of this, you're going to see related companies that do the same thing in the same industry that you can also add. So keep those in mind. But yeah, this is a great opportunity then to take and see, okay, Medline's on here. We do this. Let's hop on LinkedIn and see who's in purchasing for what department for something we could make. Reach out to them either through LinkedIn and through other means, find an email address, what have you, and reach out to those individuals.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to turn this over to.
Hey, and one of the things, one of my favorite things about that HubSpot prospecting is it has alerts in there. So you can set up a daily digest, of your filters. So that one you used with the medical devices, I can set up an alert that every morning I get a digest of here's all the companies that met that filter criteria that showed up on your website, and it shows the activity, and you're like, yeah. So you got like some new prospects to go check out.
That's absolutely. That's an ideal way to get this information in a handy and digestible format. And so you're also seeing it regularly rather than going, oh, shoot, I haven't checked it in 2 weeks. You're getting it in the inbox.
Yep. Now I'll go ahead and switch over here to Trax. All right, how we looking? So, like we said, Trax has been developed by Thomas Registry, and many people recognize out there. It has a lot of similar functionality to HubSpot. Operates off of the same basic premise, pulls some of the same information. So there's some overlap there. Typically, when we're working with clients, we put both of them on because it's a good way to take and cross-reference the information and data. The first thing that you're going to take and see is your dashboard, and it'll let you filter it out by time period. And then you start to look at then the most active audience that's identifiable, and it gives you a lot of the same information, location, industry, your session count in terms of like how many sessions, how many times they've come to the page there, and so all pretty good. Now, if you want to break this down a little bit more, then you can break this into your audience segments, and it's going to take and give you some more graphic representations of where these visitors are coming from, what industries they are, their size, and that. Now, what that was showing you is pretty much everybody that's showing up there that's identifiable company. So what you want to have is, obviously you're not going to work with anybody. You want to like see the very targeted industry specific companies that most match up to your ideal customer, not only with like industry but also with their size. um, and so when you look at under targeted audience, you're able to take and add all those filters in there, and then you can see this a little bit more clearly. um, so then when you're looking at, okay, well, let's get some more intelligence on that filtered out targeted performance. um, what you end up at, you're going to take and see a page like this. You're going to see all of your filters, that you've set up earlier, and you just do that under your customized targets. And then it starts to take you through, okay, here's who was here, what they were doing. Let's take a look at, gonna want to pull up a good one here. uh, by the way, you're probably wondering about a lot of those unknowns.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, so those are people that are at home, on private internet connections. So a lot of times you see that with like people applying for jobs, which I know this client is, had a lot of people applying for jobs. The other thing that's interesting, just at this current moment, because so many people are working from home, then what you're finding is that uh, we've seen a lot of unknowns go up there because people are actually like searching for um, from home, and then that's why that's showing up that way. So
Oh, good
um
point.
yeah. So Tessie's been very obviously very active on here. This is like very detailed. So here we'll take a look at these guys. Now we're looking at Hollister here, and that gives you a little bit of information about the company. And then also you can take a look and see details as far as like what pages they were visiting. And again, like I said, that's really good to know, because once you locate, the ideal or somebody that fits that ideal persona, the person in the buying team, then you have, something you can use to take and open up that conversation. So look down through analytics. It's got some more analytics tools. If you like pretty charts and that, give you an idea of what your top pages are, entry pages that are performing well, what pages people are exiting off on, and then a whole lot of more detailed data in terms of what the engagement looked like with that particular visitor. Um, so I'm going to stop sharing so you can look at my face again.
Hello again.
Yes, hello. So yeah, that was WebTrax. And I don't know if we mentioned this already, but all these tools are absolutely free. So hopefully you're seeing the value in what these tools can do in terms of, one, discovering new prospects that maybe you did not know were even an option out there. Knowing the information that they're looking for on your website, so you got a reason, what you're going to generally, talk to them about, what their interest is. Another thing you can do is if you're in talks with somebody and it's like in those early stages, and you see them coming to the website, then you can get an idea of, how well, how good you look in terms of, how serious they're taking you in that whole process. So yeah, this is going to open up a, potential for a lot of new sales opportunities. It will help shorten the sales cycle in a lot of cases. And I'd say, for those of you who are watching and see the value in these tools, the next question might be, how do I get them?
Excellent question. It's actually not too difficult. We're going to be providing some information on how you do this. Um, on the website and links at the end of this video. Or even better, for those of you who'd like to make this happen quickly, Bull Moose Marketing's tried to think of ways we could assist the industry during this time. And we're offering at this point to add these to the websites of any manufacturer at no charge. Just something we can do, as well as we'll provide you with a few tutorials to get you up and running, to be able to access and see what you're looking at, and ultimately hopefully help you find some sales opportunities that you can close. That's our goals, to help you keep the doors open, keep the pipeline full, do what we can to help.
Yeah. Well, hey, very good. Thanks, Josh. And thanks everyone for watching. If you got any questions, you can reach out to us through our website. Like I said, we're going to have a link to where you can find more information about everything we were talking about. You'll be able to take and reach out and contact us directly through there too. And then, hey, for more videos like this, you can sign up for subscribe to our blogs. So you get them into your email inbox. Our blog, The Progressive Marketer. And yeah, I guess with that, Josh, I think we can wrap things up today.
Great. Well, thank you guys so much for viewing, and take a look. Let us know if you need us, and
Yeah.
and enjoy the Tiger King.
Yeah.